Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. You know how much we love exploring the dusty corners of the past, digging up those weird and wild stories that make you question everything you thought you knew. Well, today we're diving into some mind-blowing historical facts that will absolutely break your brain. We're talking about events so strange, so unbelievable, you'll be checking the calendar to make sure you haven't time traveled. So buckle up and let's get started. Okay, picture this. It's 1932, the Great Depression is in full swing, and Australia is at war with emus. Yes, you heard that right. Giant, flightless birds. Turns out thousands of emus were wreaking havoc on farmers' crops in Western Australia. The government, in all its wisdom, decided to deploy soldiers armed with Lewis machine guns to combat these feathered foes. What followed was a chaotic mess. The emus, you see, were surprisingly adept at dodging bullets. They scattered, regrouped, and basically ran circles around the Australian army. Newspapers ran headlines about emu victories and the indomitable emu brigades. In the end, the soldiers retreated, defeated by a bunch of birds. The emus had won. Let's talk about Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of ancient Egypt. We've all seen the movies, right? Elizabeth Taylor dripping in gold. History paints her as this distant figure lost to the sands of time. But get this, Cleopatra lived closer to the moon landing than she did to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Let that sink in for a second. The woman who rubbed elbows with Julius Caesar was closer to Neil Armstrong taking one small step than she was to the building of one of the ancient world's most iconic structures. It really puts time into perspective, doesn't it? Chapter 3, Oxford versus the Aztecs, an age-old showdown. Now we're hopping across the pond to merry old England, home to Oxford University, a place practically synonymous with ancient academia. I mean, they've been educating folks there since the 1090s. That's old, right? But get this, Oxford University is older than the entire Aztec Empire. Let me repeat, Oxford predates the Aztecs. By the time Montezuma was ruling Tenochtitlan, Oxford scholars were already arguing over dusty manuscripts and probably complaining about the food in the dining hall. It's a stark reminder of just how different corners of the world were developing at completely different paces. Chapter 4. The 38-minute war, when speed was key. All right, everyone knows war is a terrible thing, but sometimes it's over before you can even say truce. Case in point, the Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896. This clash of empires holds the record for the shortest war in recorded history, clocking in at a whopping 38 minutes. That's right, less time than it takes to bake a pizza. The conflict erupted after the pro-British Sultan died, and his cousin, who, let's just say, wasn't a fan of the British Empire, took over. The British weren't too keen on this, so they gave him an hour to surrender. He refused, and 38 minutes later it was all over. Chapter 5. Fax Machines and Frontier Life, a historical paradox. Let's journey back to the American West, where pioneers braved harsh landscapes and treacherous trails on the Oregon Trail. It's a time we often romanticize, picturing covered wagons and rugged individuals, but here's a twist for you. The first fax machine was patented in 1843, the same time people were trekking across the Oregon Trail. Imagine that. While settlers were battling dysentery and fording rivers, someone, somewhere was figuring out how to send documents electronically. It's a jarring juxtaposition, highlighting the rapid technological advancements happening, even as life in other parts of the world moved at a much slower pace. And there you have it, folks. 5 historical facts that are sure to break your brain. From warring emus to time-bending pharaohs, history is chock full of surprises. It's like the universe's way of reminding us that the past is a strange and wonderful place, full of twists and turns you'd never expect. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.